Ah, Mark is here. Okay, very good. So, Mark, regarding our press conference today, so I thought that you would make the thematic introduction, some 3 minutes or so.
Okay, what time is the press conference?
It's at 2 o'clock.
Okay.
And here also, for your information, somehow some kind of logo now. Would that be okay for you?
Temporarily, yeah.
Yeah, it's temporarily, yeah. The climate action, education, communication, and outreach stakeholders community, and in brackets, recognized by the UNFCCC Secretariat.
Okay.
And now, unfortunately, I cannot show what type of slide I'm planning to present, but I will open it on my computer, and then we can.
We don't have a press package, or?
No, we don't have a press package.
What about a press release?
Also no.
Okay.
Do you want to write some?
Yeah, maybe I'll put a one-pager together.
Okay, good. That's good. Very good. Yeah.
Okay, so at 2 o'clock, I can join through Google Hangout, yeah?
Yes, exactly. The plan is to demonstrate how we are also working in the morning meetings, and to show that we want to use technology in order to connect non-state actors with the process and with the efforts of the Paris Agreement implementation.
Okay.
And we have several people somehow. So perhaps the main thoughts regarding how I thought I would complement your statement, but you could also address these main thoughts in your introduction. So we have the UNFCCC process. It's mainly member states driven, but it is open also to observer organizations. These observer organizations are organized in 9 constituencies to represent the interests of these constituencies in the process. But now with the Paris Agreement and also with the Marrakesh Partnership for Global Climate Action, we have a strong new group that needs to be taken into consideration, and that needs to be empowered to take action. And these are the non-state actors. And for this, it's also has been in the context of the follow-up to Paris Agreement that our group ECOS has been acknowledged or recognized based on your vision and persistence, and also the friendliness of the UNFCCC Secretariat to explore something new. It's the Article 12, this of course you will say, and the ECOS, what is exactly is not clear yet. We are in an exploratory phase, but our role is in building capacity, building the knowledge dissemination and networking structures that all relevant non-state actors or all relevant sectors can take climate action. And we have for the press conference, we will start with you, and then no, I will say the first few words as the technical support person for ECOS here in Bonn. Then you will say the introduction and the ECO framework, why is education, communication, and outreach important, and how it came that ECOS is now recognized by the Secretariat. Then Dane to speak about the challenges of the present system there's a very little knowledge and material in education, communication, and outreach in Spanish language, or that the Latin American countries have difficulties to really, because of language barriers and other barriers. And then we will bring also Evans from to bring in African perspective, that really it's also no link between the stakeholders and the potential climate actors in African countries, and that ECOS could help to lead the fixing of the system by bringing up the right ideas and perhaps even helping in resource mobilization and institution building. Then Jean-Paul Brice-Afana, who is an expert on Green Climate Fund, will say also a few words. How can the future education, communication, and outreach efforts be connected with the climate finance? Christina will say that in terms of outreach, the Global Challengers Youth Music Contest is an example how the whole process needs everybody on board, and that new innovative ways of communication are needed. There will be a mention of gamification, because on tomorrow morning we have Professor Helbing here in our ECOS morning meeting speaking about the Climate Olympics. And then I will also say a few words about information management, and that blockchain technology holds great potentials to document, and then in next phase also to give value to these efforts of the education, communication, and outreach stakeholders, so that they can be also incentivized and remunerated. Yeah, and Joe Robertson from the Citizens Climate Engagement Network will probably also join us and say a few words.
Okay. All right, so I think I would like to...
Wait a minute, I have to make it louder somehow. It's.
Can you hear me?
Yes, but I didn't hear you very well. Yeah, but I cannot increase the volume, but please say it again, and welcome, Evans.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
So, Evan, we were just talking about the press conference this afternoon at 2 o'clock. But can you hear me okay, Miro?
Yes, I hear you.
Okay. So I think because I have about 2 minutes, right?
No, 3 minutes. Good 3 minutes, I would say.
All right, 3-4 minutes. I'd like to really focus on the vision, not get into the technicalities too much.
Okay.
But just talk a bit about education, communication, outreach in general terms, and how important they are, how there's some great efforts that have been made, and how we with ECOS would like to help amplify these efforts and to serve as a clearinghouse for great strategies and effective practices. And ultimately, we hope to play a role in helping reduce barriers, including financial barriers, so that hopefully we can get the funding we need for teacher training, for effective communication campaigns. And of course, we want to be able to measure all of this so that we can track our progress. Okay?
Perfect.
And then you can get into more of the details about the non-state actors and all that sort of thing, okay?
Okay. I will perhaps prepare something, and if I will think that in terms of clarity here for the people where in the process we are located or in the structures, then I might add a little bit of information there, but not much.
Okay.
I think that's perfect.
And then maybe we'll have some questions at the end, yeah?
Yes, exactly. That's very important that we give people the opportunity to ask questions. And Evans, did you already outline what you will speak?
Yeah, I think for me, how much time do I have?
About 2.5 minutes.
Okay. I think for me, I will talk about the existence, the gap which is already there, the gap which is there in terms of climate awareness, education, and communication, more especially making reference to Africa. And quickly, I'll summarize the fact that the focal point persons, in most African countries are not active. And I'll also just mention that there's actually no system which provides funding for these aspects, more especially for developing countries. There is lack of funding in that stream, and also there is also lack of coordination in terms of coordination on the ground, partnership, like different regions. Like the US are doing great in terms of climate awareness, but very little, if even nothing, is happening actually in Africa. Only organizations which have the passion, like Embaros, are doing these sensitizations. But what we need is a bigger voice, more corporations, more partnership, more possibilities for access to funding, and also national focal point persons should be more proactive.
Very good.
Yeah, those are the only things that I'll talk in 2 minutes, and then at the end I'll conclude by saying, hence the need for a Congo Eco NGO, which comes in now to provide a platform for partnership and for engagement into realizing, into realizing action for climate empowerment at very local community level.
And by the way, Evans, we've changed the name.
Exactly. That is, I also wanted to highlight. And also, Evans, do you have access to a video camera? Because it would be nice if people would see you.
Actually, I wanted to ask you, because right now my camera says it's on, but it's not. But then I can't be on here. So the best option for me is Skype.
Okay. Then we will bring you in via Skype. I hope I can log in there on the computer. I will try.
Skype
I cannot promise.
Skype would be my best option, because this one, I don't know where the problem is.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So what time, according to the schedule, are you going to send the actual program?
I didn't plan to send an actual program. We will improvise there. It's at 2 o'clock, and altogether we have half an hour time. Usually it gets delayed before everybody is there. So let's say 3-4 minutes past 2 we will start. Usually they are quite strict in that we have to leave the room then after half an hour, because the next press conference might be there.
Okay.
Yeah.
But and then later also Mark said now that he will prepare some kind of press release, and this we will then also distribute through the climate list.
Okay, yeah, I'm asking this because so that we know the flow. Of the press conference. Who speaks next, and who speaks next, and who speaks next.
So okay, this we have. So we start with, I start a few words, then Mark makes the introduction, the thematic introduction, then Dane comes in with some specific information regarding the relevance of this kind of efforts for Latin American region and Latin American youth. And then it's your turn.
Okay.
So you can expect, hello, Jan. So you can expect to be there at about.
That's okay.
So Evan,
2:15 or so.
Yeah, it's okay.
So we have also an
yes, Mark.
guest now to our morning meeting, Jan from Climates. Very welcome. Jan, we have today our press conference at 2 o'clock.
Okay.
Would you like to join us on the podium?
Let me see.
So Evan,
I think I'm available.
That's very good, because you have very good initiatives on reaching people on local level.
When you mean coming, you mean beyond the panel or just
on the panel.
okay.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect. Excellent. Yeah. So we have a plan now, and
you said Christina will speak also?
yes, Christina will be there as well, and she will highlight these efforts around the Global Challenges Youth Music Contest as a way of outreach, where we really go beyond the process and beyond those who are usually dealing with climate issues and communicating the topic in a compelling way, and which might also help then in our resource mobilizations efforts for the whole education, communication, and outreach community globally.
Listen, Evans, I wanted to suggest something to try for the camera.
Yes.
So can you run your cursor up to the top of the screen, and
Yeah.
you see where Google pops up? And then,
Yes.
and then there's also those icons of the microphone and the camera.
Yeah.
Is the camera shut off?
Yeah. The camera is turned on here, but there's still
Oh, really?
a sign which shows that it's off. You know.
Why don't you click on it and see if it makes a difference?
I clicked on it at first, then it becomes red.
Yeah, it's true. Because
Meaning it's not working. So if I click to turn it on, it's showing
now
that
you're
my
good.
camera is
Hey!
my camera.
Here you are. Okay, that's good.
Okay.
Yeah, great.
So it does work.
Okay, so we will stick with Google Hangout then, no Skype.
Yeah,
Perfect. Thanks, Mark. And Evans, how shall I introduce you as with your institutional affiliation?
yeah. Embaros.
How do you spell that?
Embaros.
Emaros.
Embaros. ENVAROS.
Oh, yes. Okay.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, just introduce me as the chief executive for Embaros. But I'm also the chairperson for Zambia Youth Climate Change Forum.
Okay.
Yeah, but for now, just stick to Embaros.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's perfect. So we have a plan. Jan, would you like to say anything about yourself, or how the education, communication, and outreach topics is relevant for you and your work?
It's a wild question. So hello everyone, my name is Jan. I'm from Climates. Climates is an international think and do tank. Basically, we undertake three kinds of activities. We have projects related to advocacy. For example, we were involved in the French presidential election a few weeks ago. And right now we are in Bonn, and we will be at COP23, COP24, and the others. We also undertake a project related to empowerment and training on the climate change issue. So we propose to our partners all over the world to be part of a global project to raise awareness on the key climate change issues, such as the consequences of heat waves in urban areas. We also have a project aiming at making youth understand what is a COP and what are the main issues. And our third kind of activity is related to research. So we can lead our own research project, or we can translate the language of a scientist to youth. For example, we have a project on climate migration, and our objective is to raise awareness on the impact of climate change on migration issues. Maybe you met Charlotte last week?
Yes.
Okay, so she leads this project. And well, as for myself, I was a former president of Climate, and this is not the first time I attend to a UNEF Topography session. We met a few times last year, and I arrived in Bonn this morning.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Great to have you. It's perfect. Yes, so Mark, Evans, are there any questions?
Yes. I am not finding the webcast on the website in terms of the dialogue this afternoon, because the dialogue starts an hour after our press conference, right?
Yes, it does, but it will certainly be webcasted. You should then perhaps go on the main homepage of the UNFCCC webcast, and then there are the different...
Well, I'm looking at that and I don't see anything.
Ah, yeah. Okay, I cannot help in this respect, sorry, but I know that both the last years dialogues have been webcasted, available as on demand.
And what about the press conferences? Because I see that they have recorded some of the press conferences.
The press conference will be recorded, yeah. That's the main reason for us to have it, so that we don't expect many people here, but just that we will then communicate this has happened, we are working, we are exploring, and if people want to know more, they can look at the video on demand.
Okay.
Is it going to be, sorry, is it going to be webcasted, the press conference?
The press conference will be web broadcasted, yes.
Okay, it will be nice if you can provide me with a link.
Yes, I will.
So that I can post it on our page, Embaro's page, then people can watch it live.
Yes, I will send you the link in the ECOS Facebook group.
Okay, great.
Because there was some complications around and they didn't have it announced on the screens here, and the technician didn't know whether it really takes place, but now it's everything confirmed. We will be there and we will be web broadcasted.
All right.
And I'm sorry to make you repeat everything again, but I just arrived. What is the purpose of this press conference?
The purpose is that now we have this ECOS stakeholder group. It's the Education, Communication and Outreach Stakeholders Group. It's something that has been introduced at COP22 in addition to the constituencies. Because there are among the observer organizations many who have education, communication and outreach as a specific interest, and also the whole Paris Agreement implementation requires more efforts in the field of education, communication and outreach, and in order to network among these and also to build new communication bridges between the process and the non-stakeholders, non-party stakeholders all over the world. This group has been established, and this group is still somehow searching for its function, for its functional niche, because as you are well aware, Jungo is also doing a lot on education, outreach and communication, or ACE, Action for Climate Empowerment. And we don't want to duplicate things, but there should be something that is going across all constituencies, and also an area where there will be gone new ways. For instance, we have here a survey with no, today nothing opens. With Mark, we have put together some questions for the future of this community. How on what should we focus? How it should be organized? How should the information management be done? Also in the context of the NASCA portal, because for the world and for global climate action to function well, it would be good if all climate change, education, communication, and outreach activities would be also documented on the NASCA portal. It's, we have now the businesses activities there, we have the cities, but there's no information portal or entry point for those who are working in education, communication, and outreach. We want to guide this. We want also to help to measure impact of these activities so that we also can give a value to what people are doing in this field and as a basis for incentivization of this kind of activities.
Do you want to launch our own platform on our own, or do we want something connected to the official UNFCCC activity?
Connected to the official structure, very much so. And the UNFCCC has now also a call for data partnerships where in order to have entry points for more non-stakeholder actions on the NASCA portal, and our community can perhaps help to accelerate and facilitate the process that there will be also a data partnership for education, communication, and outreach action on the NASCA portal.
Do you have
and also connected with the resource mobilization. Excuse me?
Do you have any documentation on that?
I can send it to you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I would like to have the access to to that because I have to check
I thought I have shared it already on the ECOS Facebook page, but if you look here on UNFCCC core partnerships, 23. So the UN is seeking partnerships for COP23, and then from here you come. So, partnerships with the United Nations Climate Change Secretariat, item 10110 P8P. And then here they have non-state actor zone for climate action. And here is the core, background, scope, opportunities. Yeah, and then how to submit proposals.
And something related about the presentation, the introduction about myself, by the way, we will rate if you can not use youth representative as the last time.
Okay.
Maybe the co-coordinator of CLIC. It will be better because that's what I am.
Okay, of CLIC, what is CLIC?
CLIC is the Latin American and Caribbean Youth Climate Movement.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Co-coordinator.
Yeah, I'm the co-coordinator.
Perfect.
Hi.
Hello.
Okay, perfect. I will introduce you with this.
Yes.
And so, what about the press conference?
Excuse me?
And what is the goal of the press conference?
The goal of the press conference is to say that we are here.
Okay.
And if there is somebody who would like to join, he or she is very welcome. On the one hand, exchanging information about who is doing what, but also, especially in this phase, we are inviting people who have ideas how this new community could help the UNFCCC to communicate better and to have this climate change topic better communicated to the broad audience in line with the Paris Agreement and this new paradigm that everybody needs to be on board and everybody has a role to play. And this needs education, communication, and outreach, and how this new, our grouping here can help this, how we can build a social network around this, how we can build information and communication technology infrastructure and whatever is needed to be in this area more successful. I have also prepared a graph from the My World survey, which shows that climate, from the 10 million people that have participated in the surveys to prioritize future activities of global community, the least support was for climate action. And this is an awareness and education and many other related topics issue, and we have to fix this.
And so you expect from the panelists to both present their activities related to
and to
climate
speak
change
in
and
the
to-
broader functional dimension. And your focus, I thought, would be how to reach the young people in their cities and activate them that they lead climate change education and also UNFCCC process capacity building there, not only bringing people here to the COPs or the SBIs, but really working with people all around the world. And that's the new element. And here climate has a lot to show. And
can we show a PowerPoint presentation during the press conference?
you could give me a PowerPoint, I can, but you have altogether only 3 minutes or so.
3 minutes, okay.
Mm.
And the room, where will be the?
Nairobi 4.
Nairobi 4, okay.
You mean 3 minutes each?
3 minutes each. We have altogether half an hour, and we want also to have some discussions, and we will be about two speakers on the net and another 5, 6 on the podium. So
okay.
We will have to be relatively.
And I don't know, but it will be possible. I don't remember if, but someone was asking, well, saying in Marrakesh during the conference that it will be the possibility to create a kind of constituency for education. So
That's
how
us.
possible will be?
It will be only possible if there will be a constituency within the major group system of the high-level political forum.
Uh-huh.
And we have to see how we can connect these efforts here for communicating climate change with the
Because
overall efforts.
It will be awesome because it's more transversal. Well, the transversality of the topic.
Yeah, it's
is quite
transversal,
important.
a transversal
So
topic.
it won't be just for young people. It will be for children and teenagers, as well as for the public and private sector.
Yeah.
So that will be awesome.
Yeah. And the problem is that you can say these constituencies, how they differ from one another, but education, communication, and outreach is relevant for all constituencies. So it's something new. It's not really a constituency. And therefore, we have to talk a lot and invite other people and their ideas that we will make secure a space for this stakeholder community, but not exactly as a constituency. I think we have to find a new concept.
Yeah, and maybe I could make a comment about that.
Please.
So originally at COP21, I had requested just after COP21 that we be recognized as a constituency. And 6 months later, they responded that they were considering the idea. And then just before COP22, they said they wanted to recognize us as a community, but not as a constituency. And you know, initially I was disappointed, but I think actually in some ways it gives us more freedom. You know, we have the ability to work with existing constituencies, collaborate with them. But, you know, at the same time, we're not limited in the ways that constituencies are.
Yeah, I also agree that this fact that we are not a constituency but a group gives us more freedom, and that this is a big opportunity. And welcome also Jean-Paul to our morning meeting. Will you be with us at the press conference?
Yes.
Perfect. And Jean-Paul will speak about the finance component, also in the context of the Green Climate Fund, because that's his area of expertise now. And we will then mention, of course, also our Glotcha Give Youth a Chance resource mobilization efforts that should then also help to give resources to the ECOS community. Okay, then see you there, perhaps 5 minutes before 2 o'clock.
So listen, Miro, could you send me a list of everybody who's going to be on the
Yes, I will.
agenda so I can put them, list the names in the press release?
Perfect. I will do so.
So the names of the people and their affiliations, please.
I will. And
And
we have also Joe Robertson here.
Hey, Joe.
Hello.
We will
So
include you as well somehow.
you'll be on the panel too, or?
We will see how much space we have on the panel.
Okay.
So it's now me, you, Dane, Jean-Paul, Christina. I think there will be also space for Joe on the podium.
Yeah, I mean, if
I will send the list because Joe has great concepts developed, or they are already implementing them with the Citizens Climate Lobby.
Yeah.
And with the Citizens Climate Engagement Network and Access for Good platform. It's all relevant education, communication, and outreach initiatives.
So also, I wanted to mention to because of connections to the Green Climate Fund, I did have a conversation with several people there last summer and fall, and I was proposing to them that they could make education and outreach a component of GCF, and there were a couple of recommendations that I made, one of them being that ideally projects would be required to include a component relating to education, communication, and outreach. And that's something that's been very successfully done in the United States with the National Science Foundation and NASA with the grants that they offer, where they require a component related to broader social impacts that essentially relate to the project itself and how that can benefit and be communicated to the public. So, roughly 10% of many large research projects are 10% is allocated for education and evaluation. So I was recommending this to the Green Climate Fund. They were in the process of transitioning from one executive director to another, and so basically I lost contact with the people that I was in touch with there.
Yeah,
but,
we can plan that you added this information after Jean-Paul's intervention about resources from the Green Climate Fund for education, communication, and outreach, and youth also, and then you added that you have been working on this already.
Yeah, well, I don't think I've been very successful working with them, but
no, but you have started it. It's good, and
yeah, I think
you will hear the message again now from the press conference, and it's good.
There's a woman from the Green Climate Fund. She's I think the secretary of the board, Claudia. Can't think of her last name, but she's on the agenda for the dialogue this afternoon.
Ah, yeah, okay. So we will.
Hopefully, you'll be able to connect with her.
Okay, good.
Hey, Mark.
Yes, sir.
I'm very glad that Jean-Paul is on the team. He's my very good friend.
Hello, Ivan.
Yeah.
See you.
Yeah, I'm also very
Jean-Paul,
happy to have Jean-Paul on board. That's very.
Yeah.
So no reason for us to be afraid with Jean-Paul. we will succeed. Yeah.
Alone, I cannot go far. Together, we go very far.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, and the press conference will be another milestone. We will never give up.
All right.
Yeah.
And it's too bad that we can't get somebody from China or India.
Yeah, nobody showed up. Alex was very active last week, but he left on Friday.
Okay.
So, but they are on board, but we cannot have them at the press conference now.
Okay, so you'll send me the list of names, and then I'm going to work on the press release right now.
I will send it to you within next half hour or so.
Okay. All right.
Okay. All the best. Goodbye. Oh, hello, Otto. We are.
How's it going?
Good to have you with us. We will have also virtual participation in the press conference today at 2 o'clock Central European Summertime. If you would like to add something there, you are also welcome. But we will be short on time, but you will see. Join us, and we are open to bring you in towards the end of the press conference. Okay, we have to close here. There's another meeting they are preparing here. All the best. Bye.
Have a good one. Bye.